Welcome back to Breakfast Central. Rivers State politics lives up to its reputation for high drama and uncertainty as the Rivers State House of Assembly has once again opened the impeachment file on Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Professor Ngozi, pushing the state deeper into what is becoming a very familiar political storyline in the oil-rich state. During plenary on the 8th of January 2026, Speaker Martins Amaewhule presided as lawmakers read a notice of gross misconduct endorsed by 26 assembly members. The charges range from the demolition of the assembly complex, recall that drama, to unauthorized spending without legislative funds and alleged disobedience of a Supreme Court order.
Let's say that the APC in Rivers State has, however, rejected the impeachment, warning that the move could destabilize the state as they brand it politically motivated. Now, this is the second impeachment attempt in under a year, following a failed move in March 2025, born out of the fierce power tussle between Fubara and you-know-who. The power tussle that forced President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to declare a state of emergency, temporarily benching both the governor and the lawmakers. Now, under the Constitution, the impeachment process must still pass through due process, including investigations, 14-day notice, and so on and so forth, and also fair hearings before any final vote can happen. But let's break it down today here on Breakfast Central for the next 1 hour or less. Joining us is constitutional lawyer Evans Ofeli, who joins us from outside Nigeria. Good morning to you, Evans, and thank you for joining us this morning. We also have joining us PDP chieftain. Good morning. We also have a PDP chieftain in Rivers State, former member of the Rivers State House of Assembly that's currently bothered with the actions of the sitting governor. We have Honorable Collins Odu, who joins us as well. Good morning to you, Honorable.
Good morning, and good morning, Nigerians.
Great. And last but not the least, well, actually the least for this conversation is TAF Africa, and of course, a political analyst, you like to call him that, one who's very interested in the Rivers State issue in crisis. Dr. Jake Epele joins us as well. Good morning, and thank you for being here.
Morning, thank you for having us.
All right, so it's a full house. It means we're going to ask, please, gentlemen, that you make your responses as short and precise as possible so we can have a fuller conversation. I'm going to start first with you, Dr. Jake Epele. Permit me to start from your end. Did you see this coming? Did we see this coming? We had thought that after the agreement was signed with the president, number one citizen, there wouldn't be any back and forth. It would just be a simple case of follow the mandate, well, as it were, and everything will be well.
Yes, of course. If you look at the body language of the generality of the peace that was brokered, all the players, you could see even from the picture somebody who is present, but his spirit was totally absent. Whether it's Martins Amaewhule or Wike himself, or even Fubara, you know, they were just, it was very obvious that there's a rift and conflict of interest. So yes, it was very expected what is happening. What is not palatable is the fact that these bunch of politicians have decided that we are going to be the enemies of Rivers State, and that's what they are playing out right now.
Okay, let's bring in Mr. Honorable Odu into the conversation, and let's ask you about this. There have been allegations of the against the Rivers State governor. The allegations against him being that, you know, there's been some form of misconduct. One would assume that the moment the Rivers State governor moved to the All Progressives Congress, which of course is having the president as the #1 person in the party, the #1 person whom the former governor Nyesom Wike is firmly behind, one would assume that now it's kumbaya, or one big happy family. What happened? What went wrong? Mr. Odu,
Okay, thanks for having me.
Please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Yes. What went wrong is the fact that we've
we're having a repeated occurrence of what has been settled. You see, recall that this truce has gone on for about 3 times now. And currently, after the state of emergency was lifted, the House of Assembly extended an olive branch to the governor and said, look, yes, we have looked at the budget being approved by the National Assembly for the interim administration. We believe that it may not rhyme with what you want to do. For us not to go into this drama of rascality and disobedience to the Constitution, can you present a supplementary budget to cover up for what you insist on? As I speak with you now, the governor has not done it. And these assembly members from their constituents have been able to identify several projects that is being embarked upon by the governor that has not been legislated on. And it is not also in the budget passed by the National Assembly for the interim government. So it boils back to the fact that they are back to square one of flagrant disobedience to the rule of law, to the Constitution, and the idea of presenting the budget or spend from budgets being approved. So I think this is where they missed it. An evidence to the fact that the governor is spending out of budgeted provisions is the fact that the House of Assembly members got or received 100,000 naira as Christmas benefit. They sent it back to him and wrote to him that, look, this amount you are.
Hello, Honourable Collins Audu, are you there? We would have really liked to hear the conclusion of your thoughts. Okay. Honourable Audu, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay.
I'm here.
We lost connection with you when you were speaking about the 100,000 naira that was credited to them as Christmas allowance. You could pick up from there, please.
Okay, thank you. That when the governor sent Christmas like chairs to them 100,000 naira each person, and they wrote back to him and said, look, for you to present a supplementary budget for us to approve for you, these funds you're sending to us, we have not appropriated it. Therefore, it is illegal for us to spend this money or for you to even send it to us. We don't want to get involved in illegitimate or unconstitutional activities. Therefore, we are refunding it back to you. And they refunded it back to him. One would have expected at this point the government close the ranks and perhaps do what is the needful. So I think this is where the extent that you recall that yesterday the speaker said that Rivers State is the only state that so far has not gotten its state budget presented to the assembly for approval in the whole of Africa. How can we be getting negative reports? First and foremost, let me even say this. After the Supreme Court judgment and the description the Supreme Court judgment gave to the governor, one wouldn't expect the governor to go this route any longer. This is a flagrant and consistent behavior that may not change.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Honourable Audu. I'd like to bring in the legal practitioner into this picture, Barrister Evans Ofeli. Now, Barrister Evans Ofeli, what's the legal process for the impeachment of a sitting governor in the 1999 Constitution? Beyond the politics, I haven't observed what's happening. in Rivers State currently?
Yeah, that is provided for under Section 188 of the 1999 Constitution, which spread out processes and procedures that must be followed by the State House of Assembly before they can impeach the governor. And the first part of it is that they have to give him a notice of impeachment. Discussing it in the House and having it covered by the press, it does not amount to notice of impeachment. It has to be in writing, and it has to be served on him. Then there is a specified time within which he needs to respond. And he can either respond by himself or through a legal practitioner of his choice. Then when that is done, first of all, 1/3 can come up with that notice of impeachment. 1/3 of the House members. Okay? Then when it is served, they will constitute themselves and go to the next step. Okay? The next step is for them to appoint a committee that will look into the activity of the governor. Respected persons of the state, statesmen, independent of the National Assembly, of the House of Assembly, that will look into the activity of the allegations so alleged, okay? And when they look into that allegation, if they find that the governor truly has infractions, and such infractions are contrary to the constitution, then they will report back to the House. Okay? But where there are no infractions, the impeachment process will end where the committee finds out that there are no infractions. It will end there. Okay, where there is, then it will go back to the House. Then, by 2/3 majority, there will be a vote, okay, the House members to declare the governor impeached, okay, in which case he will have to leave office. But this process must be followed through, because all impeachments we've had in Nigeria, we had the highest number of impeachments in 2006, wherein a lot of persons were impeached to be in Ekiti, in Oyo, and all that at that time. The last we had in the scale of impeachment in Nigeria was a deputy governor in Edo State. And most of these impeachments have been challenged in court. And the court have always upturned them because most of the impeachment were carried out wrongly. Some were carried out not even at the State House of Assembly, carried out in hotels, carried out in strange places, and the rest of that. The Rivers State government so far, the House of Assembly so far, have commenced the process in the way it should be commenced. The notice should be served on the governor. But beyond politics, I don't think that there's anything Fubara will do in that state that will satisfy the State House of Assembly, because there's a hand that is moving their thoughts. I don't think they have their own way, because if Fubara is not present,
Barrister Amaewhule, please forgive me. I'll have to interrupt at this point because we have to go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll pick up from where you left off. Gentlemen, we still have quite a lot to unpack following this high-stake political drama unfolded in Rivers State. We'll go on a quick break, and when we return, Breakfast Central will continue shortly. You're welcome back to Breakfast Central on News Central Television. We're currently discussing the impeachment notice served on Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, and we have a panel of gentlemen here to dissect and analyze these issues. I was speaking to Barrister Amaewhule before we went on the break. Quickly, just before we move to the next set of panelists, you did say that there's nothing that the governor of Rivers State can do that will satisfy the Rivers State House of Assembly. What about the legality, the issues that Honorable Collins Odu mentioned. You also talked of an unseen hand that seems to be controlling the thoughts of the members and guiding their directions in Rivers State. Who is this unseen hand? Because if you're referring to the FCT minister, the Honorable Martins Amaewhule did say that it has nothing to do with what's happening in Rivers State, that this is purely a legal matter.
The legal issue raised by the speaker before me, Honorable Odu, I understand exactly what. By the way, I'm from Rivers State, that's a fact, because I was not well introduced. My mom from Rivers State, I was born in Rivers State. At Massive there at the Air Force Base. And so I'm not speaking as an outsider, so that my brothers there will understand. The truth is that if Fubara did not, if Fubara go ahead to send them the budget, they will sit on around and say there's an existing budget. And why should they send the budget? Because they don't have a mind of their own, the State House of Assembly of Rivers State. That's the big issue. As the moment Fubara moved to APC, and established a direct contact with the president, which has been going up and down and saying agreement. Now he's all over the place campaigning in Rivers State, just to ensure that Fubara does not return, to look for a way to take him down and the rest of that. So let's say these things the way they are. I understand the legal issue. He did not present budget. That's also wrong. He should have done that. But I'm saying even if he does that, he's still going to run into trouble. There's nothing he's going to do that's not going to run into trouble as far as he has intention to go for second term. And the Wiki does not want that. He's saying agreement. That's the problem in Rivers State. There's no other thing. He just on the summary. The fact that he present budget, did not present budget and all that could have been issues that they can resolve within themselves. And to say that you want to impeach him because he flagged Supreme Court judgment, that's not an impeachable. The flagging Supreme Court judgment is contempt. You go back to the court and the court will do what you use the issue of contempt and all that. And the court cannot go apply that now as the governor here has immunity.
Okay.
So it's quite very clear what's going on in Rivers State. It's better to say the way it is.
Okay, let's have Mr. Epele, Dr. Epele and Mr. Odu react to what Mr. Ufeli has just said. You've heard his reason for what is happening in Rivers State and his explanation of the legal implication as well. Let's have you first, Dr. Epele.
Well, let me give a three-dimensional situation analysis of what is happening. Number one is resource control. FCT minister and all the assembly lawmakers and all the political stooges and foot soldiers are just angry and frustrated because they don't have access to the resources of Rivers people, which many of them wants to put in their pocket. And that's the character of crooked politicians. And we're seeing them and seeing their character play out, before everybody's eyes. Number two is power dynamics. The quest to show that I am totally and absolutely in control. The desire to prove to Bola Tinubu that, hey, I'm the main man, the obvious move to establish structures, so-called political structures, often at the expense of the people. That's it. Number three is ego tripping. Ego. I want to show him that I am the emperor of Rivers State. I want to show him that I am the sitting governor of Rivers State. Ego tripping on both sides. And none of them have taken time to evaluate the impact of this rubbish on the people of Rivers State. I am surprised when Rivers Indigene begins to play politics with people, and not know that history will be very unkind to many of them. It is the people that suffers the most. You know, you're telling me, oh, budget or no budget. That's absolute rubbish. They know what they are looking for. They know what they want to do. They want to suffocate the people of Rivers State. They want to grab the state. They are interested in the resources. Already, there's what is making rounds that, oh, there's a 600 billion, you know, whatever. Also, people have made 600 billion budget for election and all that. And here's the point that scares any political pundit, is the fact that I've never seen where APC government is fighting itself. An APC, sitting APC governor that just defected to APC. You have APC lawmakers fighting them. Don't give me that crap about Supreme Court judgment, because even the State Assembly lawmakers are in violation of the Supreme Court judgment, because one, Supreme Court has said that they did not defect. We have not breathed on that. We've not taken a sigh of relief. All of a sudden, they have defected again. Are they not making nonsense of the Supreme Court judgment? You know, sometimes these politicians think that, you know, we don't have brain. They think that they can manipulate us, you know, and turn it around. It's not about defending anyone. It's about standing and defending the people. Can anybody, whether you are an analyst or a political jobber, can you truly say that this whole move is for the preservation of democracy, is for the preservation of the people of Rivers State? Did we not sit back and watch? Many of us, many of these guys were clapping for Abbas, and this man was cutting away our money. You know, politicians were sharing our money. People that have no business being in Rivers State sat on our resources, depleted it, and had thrown us into debt. Nobody is saying anything. And, you know, Nyesom Wike should go and sit in Abuja and run the FCT ministry. You know, he has no business coming to show force and campaign for Bola Tinubu now, when in actual sense 2027 has not even come. You know, yes, I believe in preparation, you know, but are you really truly representing the people? That's the point. And we have to say it the way it is and stop all these shenanigans, stop all this political rascality. It is not helping the good people of Rivers State. We are known to be civil. We are known to be resilient. We are known to be hospitable. And this is not projecting the Rivers State and the Rivers people that I am very proud to be part of.
I mean, let's listen to other Rodu react to this as well. Please, before you do that, we want to beg once again, we need to go on a commercial break. Of course, you know we need to pay the bills. When we come back on the Rodu, we'll listen to your reaction. Thank you.
First, I'm taking a decision on what to do.
Welcome back. Also discussing the current issues in Rivers State, particularly looking at the recent one, the impeachment process. Honorable Rodu, right before the break, I had asked what your reaction is, listening to the processes that must take place before the impeachment is indeed served. So, can you react to the other statements made by our other distinguished guests, talking about Barrister Philly and, of course, Dr. Pele?
Okay. I would like us to be civil while on national television. I take exception to the conspiracy theory and character assassination of the person of the Honorable Minister of FCT. I will want to inform our brother, Dr. Pele, that the Honorable Minister of the FCT is doing very well in FCT, and there are a lot of evidences to that effect. But let us confine ourselves to what is actually the issue. The issues are the fact that the governor has breached constitutional stipulations, and the House of Assembly that he has refused to work in consonance with. He's not the only governor. There are other governors. Even left, right, and center, there are governors. I don't think these kind of issues are cropping up, apart from the fact that he's been doing this over and over. The president has intervened severally. We're still going back to the same thing, the disobedience to agreements he signed. If the Honorable Minister is mentioning agreements, every Nigerian will allude to the fact that, yes, there was an agreement before issues were lifted. So let us keep that aside. The Prime Minister is doing very well. He cannot be fingered in whatever is going on. The House of Assembly members, if you said that they are acting under influence, yes, they are. We, the constituents, have told them that the government is not doing well. Because check it. My brother there, Pele, will testify to the fact that Rivers State has been very stagnant. Every day we're discussing one thing. The governor is the driver on this seat. And as a manager, you ought to put the resources available to you to achieve and stop making excuses. That's my take on that.
Okay.
Just to follow up again with you, Honorable Ordu, Rivers State, the APC has said they've rejected this impeachment move, that the House of Assembly lawmakers already, have begun. Well, what's your response to that?
It's a constitutional issue. The APC, we've gone beyond parties right now. If somebody has breached the Constitution and somebody has noticed it and has called him to order, this is just to check if he is culpable or he is free. So it is up to him to respond in 7 days or 14 days before a panel will be informed to be constituted. So we've gone past the idea of a party condemning it. I'm not in APC, I'm PDP. So if APC comes to condemn, what if PDP comes to accept? I mean, let's go beyond that and face issues. I don't think that is necessary for now.
Okay, Barrister Feli, Honorable Ordu says we're dealing with constitutional matters, and we recall that the last time tensions were this heightened in Rivers State politically led to the suspension of the governor and declaration of a state of emergency. How do you see this playing out from a legal perspective?
Rivers State still subsists because whatever attempt the president, using the state of emergency that was illegal, by the way, to do all he did, and then brought in an administrator that further, plundered the state to a point of we can never recognize exactly what has happened. So the politicians of Rivers State do not have any regards for the people. They have no regards for the people. Look at what the people have lost under their carelessness. Okay, Wike himself, who is supposed to be a statesman, have no regards for his people, honestly speaking, because an ex-governor, should be able to promote his state, promote peace theory. Okay, he should be at a point where he will be settling dispute amongst warring parties. He shouldn't become the dramatic personality itself, the harbinger of violence. Because that's what he's doing. And he's doing that, he's carrying his son all over the place while he's doing that. The boy will stand by him, absorbing everything that man is doing. He's passing it to another generation. And I'm sorry for them, really. I'm really sorry for them, because the level of damage that they've done in Rivers State, they truncated democracy, they've made Rivers State to lose resources, the people have no bearing any longer, and now we are resuming a second season of this same violence. And these persons don't care about what democracy should, what it portends, and what the future holds for the rule of Rivers State. So I think that because Fubara made a very smart move by joining the APC. Okay, now he joined the APC, now have direct access to the president. That is Wike's problem. That's why he went to say agreement. Which agreement? Which agreement is that? An agreement that you brought under duress to ensure that Fubara does not return because he was outside, had been taken down. You have to accept everything you are pushing for, and you thought he's a fool. You understand? I mean, the Constitution allows every person. It's not just Fubara that Ute is fighting; it's also fighting the National Secretary of the APC. I hope you are aware, who is not aware or does not want to take orders from Wike as regards Fubara. And he's going to fight more people. And Wike has no regard for the president as well. That's the truth. Because see, this analysis and conversation cannot be fully discussed without the mention of Wike. Because I heard my brother saying that we should focus on Wike is the hallmark, the fulcrum of this discourse. I mean, if we want to tell ourselves the truth, there's no other way to look at it, but to look at it from the standpoint of truth. And if they continue like this, they're going to have more problems. The State House of Assembly should have a mind of its own. That is, you cannot, because I can see that many of them are tired. They are just being pushed to do what they are doing. You look at their countenance, apart from the speaker himself, every other person, they are tired. They've been suspended for 6 months. Now they are back. They are starting another one. But because they have no mind of their own, so they are moving just the way, and that's not the way Nigerian politics is. Compliance. You just have to say yes, yes, yes to everything you're saying, as if under military rule. And I don't think that's the way democracy should go. Okay? We should put a halt to this problem. We should put a halt to it. If the Constitution says that a governor has a right to contest, go for a second term, let it be his prerogative to say, I'm going to contest, I'm going to recontest, or I'm not going to contest. Okay? So nobody should tell anybody how Rivers State should be. Nobody owns Rivers State. Rivers State is owned by the people of Rivers State. Before Wike came, there were governors. Okay? There have been governors that have been head of states, even under the military. Nobody took Rivers State and put it in the pocket and say, until what I say that will happen, that's what will happen. If I don't agree to not, nobody will. No. Because it's going to have problem with the president very soon. We're already at the brink of that. Okay? And that's going to cost him a lot. So the days to come will decide. We will find out how far we can intend to play this politics of self, this politics of grandstanding. That's the only word I say that will happen. And if we don't, everyone will be shut down. I don't think this is the right way to go.
To this, as we're slowly running out of time, we'd like to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, well said by the lawyer. Let's even delve into this Fubara not presenting budget before the State Assembly, including the snippet of what was agreed. One of the things that was agreed was that Wike was going to call this rascal State Assembly people to order. And there is no way Fubara will present a budget before this State Assembly without Wike's approval. If Wike says no, that is it. And that's exactly what has been happening. He's been remote controlling everything. He's been grandstanding everything. It is him or the highway. And somebody cannot say, let's leave Wike out of this. No. You even Collins, you cannot come on this television and speak your mind without Wike's giving you the approval. That's how manipulative the whole system has become. And you guys, you politicians, and I'm including Fubara, all of you should leave Rivers people alone. Leave us alone so that we can breathe. The resources of Rivers people is not your personal resources. The political structure of Rivers people are not your personal political structure. Come out. If you're truly going to represent us, we will vote you. And if you're not going to represent us, we will vote you out. Can I say to you that in a free, fair, credible, inclusive election today, if it's held today, in a free, fair, credible election, and you put Wike and you put Fubara will flood him. That is the truth, whether you want to accept it or not. Yes, I always say this, for conflict of interest, I am from Opopo. Fubara is from where I come from. But if Fubara is doing the wrong thing, Jake Epele, will be on national television criticizing him, you know. And I'm not saying that he has done everything perfectly, he's perfect. No. However, the point I'm trying to make is that all of you politicians should allow Rivers people to be. The system is too heated that an average Rivers person who are struggling to make ends meet cannot. You're creating unnecessary crisis and tension that ought not to be. And may I use this opportunity as I look through the lens of this camera and call on President Bola Tinubu, you can stop this mess. You can. You can. Because both Fubara, who is now in your camp, and Wike, who is 1 foot in PDP and 1 foot in APC, you know, can be stopped. And the more we allow this thing to play out and say what will be, it will become destructive. It will become destructive. How long will you push us?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's the citizens in Rivers State that, you know, will bear the brunt of this crisis. Unfortunately, we have to come to the end of this conversation, but we hope to invite you again, and we hope that this time will not be for negative reasons, that there will be a positive way that has been found so that governance can take the front row as opposed to the politicking that we're seeing happening in Rivers State. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us this morning. We look forward to having you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.